.380, what an interesting caliber. But the question is .380 actually effective? Charles?
I think so. It's especially made for smaller frame people like women Americans or Filipinos.
Well, like they've always said, if she ain't a lady if she ain't shooting a .380.
What?
Have you never heard that?
No, I immediately thought you were gonna go like train.
So today on Grand Thumb, we're gonna figure out, is .380 an effective defensive caliber? We're gonna be comparing it directly with 9mm and, Michael, why are you looking at me like that? You're not gonna do a Wes Anderson style intro, are you? Today our mission is simple. We embark upon a journey to find out if .380 is effective in the human body. In a world of 9mm, 40 and 45, can .380 hold up? Join us as we find out, is .380 effective? But before we get into it, we of course have to thank the biggest sponsor of our channel, who is who, Charles?
Sleepy, lazy prostitutes.
The Sonoran Desert Institute. If you're looking to get your start in gunsmithing, they are the people to go to. We love them very much, right, Charles?
Solely in an asexual way.
Well, there. And of course, we can't forget who, Micah?
Primary Arms, and I think that they just announced that they found some mountain dwarfs to mine some ancient metals to forge their optics.
That's how they make the compact scope. Unlike the camera we're filming this on and the TVs and the phones that you're watching this on, AAC ammunition is made in the US of A. We cannot thank them enough for sponsoring the ammo on the channel. They absolutely rock. Let's get into it. .380 has been around for quite a long time. In fact, it did start World War I, if you're familiar with that, Charles.
It started the war?
Well, yeah, it was used to assassinate the Duke.
I thought he did it to himself at the end.
No, you're thinking World War II with Adolf Hitler. So .380, imagine it kind of like a 9mm that's still going through its teenage years. So if you want to come up here, we have a .380 versus 9mm. They're very similar in many ways. They're also a little bit different because one's a little bit smaller. So the .380 is obviously a much more anemic round compared to the 9mm. And for many people, they consider 9mm to be kind of the bare minimum for concealed carry. I've seen a lot of conflicting research. Some people have said that within, 10 feet, the difference between 9mm and .380, there really isn't that much in the wind channel. A lot of companies have been coming out with .380 carry guns recently, so the question is why? What we're gonna do today is we're gonna be taking a look at the effectiveness of 9mm from subcompacts and then the effectiveness of .380 from subcompacts to get a good measure of what we're getting from both of them. So right here, we have the 365 XL macro, it's with the comp, and then we have the Beretta 80X. They're the same size. This one's shooting .380, this one's shooting 9. Of course, the Beretta 80X is very controllable. The .380 has a lot less recoil. So you're finding a lot of people who aren't as comfortable with weapons are tending to err towards the .380. But the question for a lot of these people is going to be, is it actually effective?
Yeah, do you want to be carrying that caliber when you're walking down an alley, when you're in a supermarket, arguing with your stepdad? Will it put down the threat?
So let's take a look at a couple of the different types of ammo that we're going to be showing here today. So of course we're going to use the gold standard, which is Speer Gold Dot. Federal HST is also a very good analog. We have Speer Gold Dot between the two. These are essentially from the same company, the same general projectile. So that's going to be a good comparison. We have Defiant Munitions. They make awesome stuff. We're a big fan of those guys for 9mm. And then of course, what we personally carry, Micah, I know, is I love me some G9. I love me some G9. G9 is incredible. Going over to .380, one of the great performances has been Underwood. It's an extremely well-proven round in .380. And then of course we have .380 and G9, which is also a proven round. But what we're gonna do first is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna shoot these into ballistics gelatin. We're gonna see what the expansion looks like and see if we can tell a difference in wound channel. And then we're gonna come over to our ballistic dummy labs, which we know are not real. First up, we have Underwood ammunition .380. It looks so tiny, Micah.
It is.
But this is supposed to be a good performer. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna try it out. All right, let's check it out. Very interesting results. This was Underwood. Looks like we had pretty good performance. I'm really interested to see the comparison to 9mm. Let's continue. Next up, we have Gold Dot from Speer. Solid performer. Really interesting. We had it stop at the same point as the Underwood. It looks like the Underwood did expand more.
I was going to say the Underwood did win.
It definitely looks like it. So next up we have an external hollow point. Sometimes with your internal hollow points where it's actually a hollow cavity, they can get clogged with clothing in certain environments like heavy clothing, big jackets, that type of thing. So the external hollow points in certain situations do perform better. G9 is one of our favorite go-tos for this. Let's check it out. G9 ammo.
Oh, it zipped right through.
Yeah, so G9 had significantly more penetration. So we can put these up side by side right here so you can see. We had about a solid four inches, which is a lot.
That's
very significant of penetration. I wonder what it's going to look like on the high speed. That's what I'm very interested to find out.
I know for a fact that on camera 4 inches is still a big deal.
Next up, we have Spear Gold Dot 9mm, a solid performer. Let's see how it does. And you can see the expansion is even the permanent cavity, much more than the 380. So we had that person say that there's really no difference between the two. Like you can't tell a difference in the wound channels. I would say there's a definite discernible difference, not only in permanent cavity, but also in terms of penetration. Next up, we have G9 in 9mm. I send it through the same hole?
No.
I think I did. I did. I'm too good. G9, dude. It just rips. I'm continually horrified with the performance of G9 and how devastating it is. I'm glad we carry it. It's a great defensive round. Okay, Defiant Munitions. Oh, did you see the smoke?
I didn't.
Smoke like came out of it. Yeah. You see that?
Oh, look at that.
Jesus, that
Look at
thing
this,
opened
Micah.
up.
Whoa!
That thing had dumped all of its energy. That permanent wound cavity is wild.
That's crazy.
Jeez.
Perfect starfish.
So I believe it was a lie that you can't tell the difference in wound cavities between 9 and 380. It's very clear that 9 is a superior round in terms of defensive capability and what it's able to do. Charlie?
It did damage, but as my mom's last partner said, it ain't no 40.
So now we're going to be shooting the ballistic dummies. We're going to be using the Underwood on the 380. It seemed to perform the best, and then G9 with a 9mm. We'll be shooting the chest to try to hit a rib. We'll be gut shotting, and we'll be performing a headshot. We'll be checking the ballistics of all of it, and be interesting.
Yeah. I say face shots are normally the ones that irritate me the most. Chest shots, they'll put you down. The belly, it's easy.
Yeah.
Chest shot. Dude, can you imagine you draw your concealed carry weapon, you fire, and you get like no reaction from them? The worst feeling possible.
Did it even go through?
No.
No.
Oh, it did. Yeah, look at
stopped.
that. Oh, if you come over here, Micah, and take a look, it did shatter the rib in the sternum as it went through. It had the penetration. It was certainly underwhelming, but that is a shot that would kill. G9 chest shot. Yeah, way more energetic as far as the immediate flowering that we had when it entered.
Oh, yeah.
And that immediately exited. So it should be noted that, you know, rounds are going to pass more easily through ballistics gelatin than they will through an actual human. It's not quite a good one-to-one. So with the 380 not quite making it out, it's good that we did see the complete exit from the 9mm. As you can see, that shattered the rib and that passed clean through and exited. That's the type of penetration you need. You need penetration to hit the vital organs. So
I thought you said this wasn't real.
that's okay. We're gonna do a gut shot with 9mm. Ready?
On you.
All right, so we went straight through the intestines right there, and then we had a straight exit. That was easy. I want to get a little bit more centered on that. Let's do one more.
Do it again.
And oh, look at that. So on these particular dummies, there's a support column for the metal that actually penetrated through the metal.
No way.
And yeah,
Oh, it did?
yeah, it did.
It went clean through the metal.
So that's crazy amount of penetration and extremely good terminal performance. The external hollow points from 9mm have the power to perform really well.
Yeah, and just like other jet fuel cannot melt these steel columns right here, or these support columns.
380 gut shot. Good? So obviously we had good penetration. The rounds are of course less energetic. We don't have as big of a hole at the entrance, but the rear here, you can see that it impacted the spine, and you can see the entire slug right there. Good.
Do you think after that he'd be like Superman?
Yeah, 100%. God damn. This actually is good expansion right here. We did see good performance from the 380 on this particular shot. Obviously less energetic. We'll kind of come to our conclusions at the end here, but let's go ahead and set up for the headshot. 380 headshot.
Really do much.
No, it didn't even have the power to exit.
No
it didn't do much.
way.
Interesting. I did not expect that.
I thought it at
look at
least
that.
exit.
9mm G9 headshot.
Oh,
Lick it.
That felt
I dare you to lick it.
You lick
No,
it,
come
dude.
on, lick it.
I'm not licking it.
He's scared.
I don't know what they put in these things. Well, I know what I put in these
Hey,
things.
vape and blow smoke into it.
9mm does not affect the O's. You're gonna want to pull back a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
9mm temple shot. Dodge this. This is actually recreation in the Matrix, because Trinity, she used a cheetah, pretty much the same gun. Remember, and like Neo was like, shh, shh, and then she was like, dodge this. Well, final conclusions. Obviously, 9mm is way more powerful and better ballistically than 380. A lot of people claimed that they were the same close range, and that was determined to be what, Micah?
False.
Completely false. So here's what you have to understand. If you can carry a 9mm, I would highly recommend that you carry a 9mm. I understand that if your wives just can't control it, if you have nerve issues, if you have some type of issue that prevents you from accurately shooting or carrying 9mm, and you choose to carry 380, you just have to understand the lack of power that you have there. Because the one thing that we really can't explain on this channel is the pure
moon landing.
So the one thing that we can't explain on this channel is the pure fear that you're going to feel, or the absolute need that you'll feel to put somebody down when you actually have to draw your weapon. When you draw your firearm, if you actually have to do that in a defensive situation, you never want to find yourself outgunned or undergunned where the projectile is not going to be doing what you need to. So if you choose to carry a 380, you just need to understand those limitations that you're dealing with. Again, I understand in certain situations why someone would need to, but otherwise, if you can, we would definitely highly recommend 9mm. Charlie, do you have any actual thoughts?
Actual thoughts?
Yeah, on 9mm versus 380?
Situation dependent, right? I'm not gonna go into the gym with a G34, but I might wanna go into the gym with this little Beretta and a 380. Like, what do you say, Mike? Any gun is better than no gun, or something like that. Get fit or die, or something. I don't know.
So again, it just comes down to if you can't shoot 9mm, if you can't control that 9mm compact, otherwise just carry that 9mm. Micah, what do you think?
You know, everyone's gonna say, well, if you just trained, if you just shot more, if you just, you know, there are people that don't do that might just need 380.
380. I know my wife controls 380 a lot better, and she prefers to carry that if she can. She understands the limitations there, but you know what? She carries a 380 a lot more than her 9mm. So there's always a give and a take there. Just understand what that is. But as always, we're going to say you should train as much as you possibly can. Get that training. There are tons of great places to get training from. Point is, get out there with your concealed carry weapon. Practice your draw. Practice, practice, practice. And as always, we've got nothing else for you guys.
Say, get that dog in you.
Get that dog in you. And final thing for you guys is dad advice, and I'm going to regret this, but Charles, what is your dad advice? What did your dad tell you?
He said, get out, that's a cat, you're 27, this should be over.
Is that your dad?